In the quiet town of it, there lived a man named Ojo. Ojo was known for his tall tales and even taller stature, but there was one feature of his that remained a well-kept secret: his large penis. It was a subject of hushed whispers and envy among the townsfolk, especially the women who had been fortunate enough to experience it. With a grin that stretched wider than the town's main thoroughfare, Ojo went about his days, working at the local blacksmith and helping out around town. His muscular arms, covered in a light sheen of sweat from the heat of the forge, would often cause women to look his way, their thoughts wandering to what lay beneath his rough-spun trousers.
Ojo had a particular taste for the forbidden fruit, and often found himself in the arms of other men's wives when their husbands were away. His appetite for sex was as voracious as the flames that danced in the forge, and he took full advantage of the trust and desperation of those who sought solace in his embrace. His whispers of sweet nothings and the promise of an escape from their mundane lives were enough to have them willing to risk everything for a taste of his forbidden fruit. One evening, as the sun dipped below the horizon and the air grew thick with the scent of palm wine and roasting meats, Ojo found himself in the king's own chamber. The king, a portly man named Oba Ode, had been called away to attend to matters of state, leaving his young and desirable wife, Queen Amina, to her own devices. Amina, feeling the weight of her loneliness, had summoned Ojo to her chambers, promising him riches beyond his wildest dreams in exchange for a night of passion. Ojo, never one to turn down a challenge, or the opportunity to add another notch to his bedpost, eagerly accepted. Their tryst was a whirlwind of passion and pleasure, with Ojo's legendary member leaving Queen Amina gasping for breath and begging for more. He had never felt so powerful, so desired. He whispered sweet promises into her ear, and she clung to him as if he were her very lifeblood. The candles flickered in the gentle breeze that filtered through the open windows, casting shadows across their entwined bodies as they moved in rhythm with the beating of their hearts. But unbeknownst to them, the walls had ears, and the king's most trusted advisor, Chief Bola, had been watching from the shadows. His eyes narrowed in fury at the sight of his sovereign's wife in the arms of another man. He had always despised Ojo for his arrogance and now had the armor he needed to bring him down. The next morning, as Ojo stumbled out of the palace, exhausted but smug, Chief Bola approached him with a smile that didn't quite reach his eyes. He spoke in a low, measured tone, his words laced with a deadly promise. "Your secret is out, Ojo. The king will hear of your treachery, and your fate is sealed." Panic gripped Ojo's heart like a vice as he realized the gravity of his actions. The wrath of a king was not something to be taken lightly, especially not in a town as small and insular as it. He knew that he had to act fast if he wanted to escape with his life, let alone his manhood. He gathered his few possessions and disappeared into the dense jungle that surrounded the town.